Hello, if you know me, you'll know that I don't love doing this type of thing. I find it quite nerve-wracking, and this is my first LinkedIn Live post. So I wanted to take a bit of time to talk to you about quitting. There's lots of talk of quiet quitting, but I'm intrigued to know if you are one of the 40% of professionals that are thinking about quitting soon. So let's go back to 2010. Back in 2010, Jessica Price Jones found that we spend a third of our lives at work. And for the average person, that is 90,000 hours during the course of their lifetime. However, if we look at the studies, 50 to 80% of us are not happy at work. We are not satisfied with our working situation. So, against that backdrop, it is hardly surprising that 40% of people are thinking of moving on in the next 3 to 6 months. Now, this came from a McKinsey study back in 2022, and it applied to the global workforce. If we go back to March of this year, Microsoft and LinkedIn replicated this study and they found that it had gone up. So it had gone up by 6 percentage points. And now there are 46% of professionals who are thinking about quitting. Are you one of those 40%? Now, when I speak to people, they often don't know if they're in that 46% or not. Many of the people that I speak to are unsure. They're kind of unsure if they want to throw away what they've done so far in their career and start again, if they want to move up to the next level, particularly if they're early careers and it's kind of, oh, I've been at this company for 2 to 3 years, I can get promoted and move on. Or do I want to look at another role in another area? And quite often we're wrapped up in all of the anxieties of our day to day, the stresses, our to do list. What does our boss think of us? Are my friends progressing faster than us? And all of that clouds our judgment. And it's like layers of an onion that make it harder and harder to make a clear decision. So I work with people to really strip back those layers of the onion and get back to that core and think about what motivates you and what interests you and actually what's going to keep you feeling challenged. When we think about enjoyment at work, you're not going to enjoy every day. That is a panacea that isn't going to happen. But meaning can be really important. And it's important to about 50% of people. So 50% of people find no meaning in their work. I have friends who are very happy with that scenario, but actually, those that report that they do have meaning also report higher job satisfaction, more engagement, which is unsurprising, really. And then they tend to stay where they are for a little bit longer. So, when you strip away all of that chatter, that's when you can really work out what is the path that's going to work for you. So, due to my career history, I tend to work with three groups of people. I tend to work with those that are considering a change at whatever stage, and then those that have already made the change. And I have made my own career change. So I understand what it's like to be back in that primordial soup of being a beginner again. And actually, it's kind of uncomfortable. So it's working through a lot of that stuff. And then my background is in sales, is commercial, and also in revenue enablement. So I work with sales professionals as well. And I work with sales professionals on improving performance and also being more consistent in performance. So if you fall into any of those three groups and you want to have a chat, then by all means do book in some time with me. And you can book that time in at michelle.setmore.com and we'll have a free consultation, decide if it's worth an engagement. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.